All right, so today we're gonna make some of the most sort of traditional Swedish, classic Swedish dishes we have. In Swedish, it's called Kalv I dill, veal in dill. So what we're using is the neck of the veal, cheap cut, but very flavorful. But we need to cook it for a long time to tenderize it. So it's actually gonna be braised in the oven for more than 12 hours. And then we're gonna roast it in a pan with a little butter to get it nice and crispy on the outside, but it will be super tender, so you can actually eat it with a fork. Serve with classic garnish. I'm using some carrots. This is Paris market carrots. Some onions, dill. And over here we have something interesting. This is, we're gonna make like a vinegar reduction, and it's made out of a traditional Swedish vinegar called ättika. So it's a very, very strong potato vinegar. So we're gonna break that up with a little bit of brown sugar, dill stalks, and dill seeds, and that's gonna be mixed together with our veal stock. All right, first off, let's get the meat going. It takes forever. Just basically cook it in the pan. And to speed up the process, we just cutting it down lengthways. Beautiful piece of meat. All right, in the pan, just been boiling up. We have veal stock, touch of white wine, onions, thyme, garlic, and bay leaf. And very simple. Just get it in there and get it started before we put it in the oven. That's it. Lid on, in the oven, 80 degrees, 12 hours until it's super nice and tender. All right, next up, the carrots. Lovely small baby carrots. So what we do is just giving it a little bit of cut. Getting most of the stalks off, checking so it's not too dirty anywhere. If it is, we need to scrape it a little bit up here. Don't worry about peeling them, they're so nice and tender. Just give them a wash before. Make sure there's no big chunks of anything else on there. Right, that's enough. Butter in the pan. Don't be shy, you're gonna use quite a lot because you're actually gonna cook them in a little bit of butter. A little bit of brown sugar in there. Get that starting caramelizing a little bit. You see now it's starting to get a little bit light brown for the caramelization. Perfect, time for carrots. So now we're gonna let them roast a little bit around themselves. And then we'd add a knob of butter extra and a little bit of water and then just leave them. All right, so the carrots are bubbling away here on the side. Let's get into the onions. So cut in half. Don't worry about peeling them. You're just gonna take away the outer layer anyway. On my side there, I have a pan heating up. So we're just gonna roast them on the cut side and then into the oven. Hot pan, smoking, a little bit of oil. Make sure we wait until the oil is hot. Don't forget the carrots. Now they start caramelizing. Yes, 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 yes. And then just put the onions down. Lower the heat a little bit. I was a maximum. Let's go down to 65%, 70% a maximum, and then just leave them. All right, carrots, slowly roasting. Let's add a little bit of water here. Halfway, and then we keep on refilling it. All right, onions, looking good, nicely roasted. That's it. Into the oven, 150, 160 degrees until they're nice and tender. All right, next up, let's start with the sauce now. What we need to do, we need to make a reduction. First, the etika, the strong potato vinegar. Down in the pan. Brown sugar. Dill stalks. Dill seeds. Boom. And all we need to do now is to give this a boil. Bring it up to boil. And this vinegar is later on going to be used to spice up our sauce that we get from the braising liquid from the veal neck. So, cooking up here. That's it. Yeah, look at the color coming from all the seeds and everything. Let it cool down. All right, so now the carrots. They're cooked, nice and tender, and very nice glazed. Salt on top of that. All right, that's it. They cooked, they glazed. Just leave them. All right, we're back. Roughly 12 hours in the oven. Flavor, the smell of this is amazing. So what we're gonna do now is just carefully lift them up without break them up too much. Now, these ones into the fridge. First, we leave them outside for 15-20 minutes to come down to room temperature. Bang, into the fridge. Let it set, let it get cold. Then we're gonna portion them up and roast them in a lot of butter and crispen them on the outside. All right. So, just gonna sieve all the vegetables off, the spices. All right, so now let's reduce this to at least half. And once it's reduced down, we're gonna mix it up with the rest of the sauce. Next step in the sauce, we're gonna slice some shallots. We're gonna sort of get them going with a knob of butter. sweat the shallots off. All right, shallots nice and soft. Our broth has reduced to half. Perfect. Next up, cream. And then we'll let it slowly boil away for a few minutes to reduce a little bit more. We're looking for that consistency. Flavor is already there. It's all about consistency now. All right. Reduced, done, ready. Last sieve to get the shallots out. We can squeeze to get all the flavor out. Perfect. Next up, we have our vinegar reduction. This one is really taste as you go along, but it should be strong. We'll start with 2.5. Salt. Taste. Smell is there. Slightly more. Slightly more salt. Give it a stir. Taste again. Yep, it's there. Done. Now all we need to do is roast our meat and we're done. All right, next up, it's time for the meat. It has set lovely in the fridge. So basically what we do is just, you see, we can cut it. Look at that, that's all we want. Going back into the fridge is very important because otherwise we just can't handle it, we can't cut it because it's so tender. Pan on. Butter. Want quite a lot of butter here. Next up, season the meat. Both sides. Touch of pepper. Pan nice and hot. 2 pieces in the pan, 3 pieces. That's what we want, nicely roasted, caramelized, crispy. Lower the heat a little bit. And now the fun part starts. Just basting it with the butter. Giving it all the love you got. Look at that foaming butter coming over the meat. All right. Meat almost done in the pan. Onions came out of the oven. Same low temp oven as the meat was in, so not too hot to handle. That's what we're looking for. Nice, sweet onion. Just cut off the base, the root of it. So there was no point peeling it. It just slides off so easily. All right. Perfect. All right, time to plate it. Let's start off with our meat. Nice and crispy. The veal neck. Our nice sweet onions. Lovely carrots, glazed up on that. Time for a sauce. Just giving it a little bit of a fresh foam here. Finish off a little bit of dill oil. And finally, some fresh dill. So, that's our long braised roasted veal neck, together with some caramelized carrots, sweet onions, and sauce etica and dill. Well, I could eat this any day of the week.